Hey, you Stygian Dogs, it's January the 7th, and this marks the release of issue number 4 of Conan, Scourge of the Serpent from Titan Comics and Heroic Signatures. Titled Conan, Scourge of the Serpent Part 4, Unity or Death, readers finally get a chance to see where Jim Zub and Yvonne Gill's adaptation of Robert E. Howard's The Shadow Kingdom, The God and the Bull, and The Haunter of the Ring takes us. I'll say this now, the issue is pretty remarkable. Just wait till you get a load of the spectacular ending and the promise of what's to come. We'll take our usual thorough look at the book, but first, while you go out and buy it, let's do a quick recap of last month's issue and then check out this month's covers. For John Kirowan, Conan of Samaria and Kull, King of Volusia, moments, hours, eons are one and the same. So says Gonar the Wise. A barbarian trapped in a gambit between old gods and greedy men. A scholar's cyclical, blood-soaked fury. And a king cast against treacherous betrayal. Whatever battle they thought there was to be fought, the time-crossed warriors will learn of danger beyond imagination. A demand: do not look away from this point of no return. Ancient feuds must crumble or all shall be doomed. Let's check out this month's covers. Cover A is from Roberto de la Torre. Lucio Parrillo gives us cover B, and rounding things out, cover C by Mark Bagely. Now, on to the issue itself, and man, are you in for a treat. And here we go. I will flip through the book, present a few close-ups of panels. I'll try not to read too much verbatim. There might be a little bit more this time around, and I will outline the general plot and happenings. I want you to be curious and to grab your own copy. Seriously, I implore you, buy these comics. They're really great. I want to give you a sense of how things look and to convey my excitement and a few summary thoughts. But be warned, if you want a pure reading experience, and I know you do, I would caution you about spoilers. If inclined, skip ahead to my final thoughts. My review there will be generally spoiler-free. On the inside cover is an advertisement for a new era of bravery and heroism. All of the trade paperback and omnibus collections you should probably have on your shelf. After that, credits for the teams at Heroic Signatures and Titan Comics. Turning the page, the Numidian Chronicles, a map for wayfinding, and a summary of events thus far. 3 men from 3 different ages. Conan, Kull, and Kirowan, together in the now. Yesterday and tomorrow are as real as today. But today, our fate shall be chosen. Conan, Scourge of the Serpent Part 4, Unity or Death. Grim Jim Zub, writer. Ironclad Yvonne Gill, artist. Again, these heroes of man hear the command: do not look away from this point of no return. Feuds must crumble or all shall be doomed. The creative credits continue. Jumping Jao Canola, color artist. Rascally Richard Starkings and Comicrafts Titanic Tyler Smith, lettering. Calamitous Chris Butera, editor. Set the serpent god in female form. Ancient chaos and sin, the venom in every broken soul and jealous heart. The father of the floods that drowned the ancient world appears now as a mesmerizing mother. To behold this ancient power is to be changed forever. The serpent god speaks in the language of thought, and the men of scattered ages endeavor to comprehend. In the heavens, beyond other worlds, is a presence, a terror undreamed of, a woeful dark god, asleep for all time, now wide awake. History and time become unmoored as the rings of existence break. The woeful eye is open and journeys toward us. And upon its arrival, every soul will be devoured. The End War, fought upon a field beyond dreams and nightmares. What a wicked 2 pages. In this confrontation between reality and the unfathomable, all shall be destroyed. Combined forces are not enough. Set requires something more. A heroic soul to breed with, multiply. The spark of ancients married with the seed of man. A perfect, hybrid race to channel the great magic of old and fight the battle to come. Set seduction and the promise of power will entice these would-be serpent-spawned sires. But 'tis the same strength of spirit that sets sights upon these men that serves as their source of resistance. A Cimmerian's strength to slay serpent corruption. Dark temptation tempered by a scholar's skilled mind. The knowledge of snake-born deception. Spurring a king's quest to purge Volusia of Set's cruel kin. The Cimmerian slips away from civilization's stain as fleeting nightmares of gods and demons slip from his mind. As the news reports on Rollock's disappearance, Kirowan vows to keep the Serpent Ring safe from future temptations and terrors undreamed of. Faster than thought, faster than dreams, the Elder God hurtles through galaxies. Asleep for unguessed ages, it awakes and transforms, and all that its woeful eye gazes upon shall be devoured. Set laments man's folly, denying assistance and damning all of existence for a fleeting victory. All will unravel, will bubble and burn, unless there is another. One born of a stalwart Cimmerian soul, and a precious pick plucked from the grasp of oblivion. A child beyond the reach of the Black Stone. And so ends issue number 4 of Conan's Scourge of the Serpent. And man, did I ever enjoy this one. You know, after those first 3 issues and the very faithful adaptation of the Robert E. Howard stories, things were feeling really conservative, but you just knew that Zub was going to hit it out of the park here. And he's given us something pretty cool in this ending. And man, Yvonne Gill's art in this, just the cosmic qualities, punctuated by Canola's colors, I just thought it was a fantastic issue and a fantastic close. It connects to the Battle of the Black Stone event series and the coming of Shuma Goroth. It kind of gives you that same sense of satisfaction on these final pages that you got from the Battle of the Black Stone series. Just tremendous. Join me in the conclusion for some additional thoughts. Opposite this final page, behold the finest merch of the Hyborian age. You can visit the Heroic Signature store and get whatever gear you want. I happen to be wearing a Scourge of the Serpent t-shirt from this shop. I also have the t-shirt that features Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Japanese movie poster. Just awesome. And my favorite is the Thing from the Crypt t-shirt. Turning the page, this month's covers gallery. And after the covers gallery, part 4 in Jeffrey Shanks' series of Scourge essays. This one is titled In the Coils of Set, the Origin and Legacy of the Great Serpent. The essay is prefaced with a quote from Robert E. Howard's The Road of Kings. Under the cavern pyramids great Set coils asleep. Among the shadows of the tombs his dusky people creep. I speak the word from the hidden gulfs that never knew the sun. Send me a servant for my hate, O scaled and shining one. Jeff begins by referencing this issue's climax, the terrifying ambition of Set, the great serpent seeking to create a hybrid race to confront the cosmic threat of the woeful eye. While the issue is a product of Jim Zub's imagination, the concept is drawn from Robert E. Howard's original tales. Throughout the Conan canon, Set is not merely a distant deity, but an active, malevolent presence whose worship predates humanity. While Stygia is the heart of Set worship in Conan's time, 3,000 years earlier, the god held sway over the greater Stygian Empire, and also the decadent sorcerer's kingdom of Acheron. As those kingdoms waned, the worship of Set was pushed back by new gods like Mitra. Jeff tells us that in Howard's The Hour of the Dragon, readers get their most intimate glimpse into the worship of Set. We enter a Stygian city and see that Set is not only revered with prayer, but also by the physical feeding of a great serpent and the slithering presence of snakes throughout the corridors of power and city streets, claiming victims who are resigned to their fates and seemingly hypnotized into acceptance. Howard's Set, the name born from the Egyptian pantheon, is a dark version of the historical deity, a conflation of the Egyptian Set, the god of storms, deserts, and foreigners, and Apophis, the cosmic serpent of chaos and enemy of light. Further influence on Howard's great serpent deity are the West African serpent god Damballa and H.P. Lovecraft's Yig, the father of the serpents. Further use of mythology is extended to the man-serpent from the god in the bowl, clearly drawing from the Nagas of Hindu religion, also perhaps serving as the inspiration for the serpent men of Volusia. Shanks goes on to tell of Howard's serpent men and the influence on modern UFO lore. In 1939, the occultist Maurice Doreal published the Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean, which largely plagiarized Howard's The Shadow Kingdom. In Doreal's later work, he connects these lizard men to extraterrestrials, which later fed the flying saucer fad and would later evolve into the shape-shifting reptilian trope of science fiction and modern conspiracy theory. In his closing paragraph, Shanks notes the ubiquity of serpent themes in Howard's work, from the giant snakes that frequently cross Conan's path to the serpent men that are the bane of King Kull. While these children of Set are the scourge of the Howardverse, they have also become an archetype connecting the serpent races of ancient mythology to modern extraterrestrial lore, and that the legacy and influence of the Great Serpent cannot be understated, reaching far beyond its pulp origins to wind its coils throughout pop culture. As always, Jeffrey Shanks' essays are a must-read. After the Shanks essay, we get a Q&A with Yvonne Gill. This is great. Check it out in full. He discusses his introduction to Conan, his inspiration, his artistic process, and he also addresses which other Howard characters he might be interested in drawing. And on the back cover, Puritan Fiend Fanatic. From critically acclaimed author Sean Hamill comes a new gothic horror novel starring the iconic Solomon Kane. Out now. This, of course, is an advertisement for Solomon Kane, Suffer the Witch. I'm curious to check this out. I think what I found most satisfying about this finale is how it serves as an extension to the Battle of the Blackstone miniseries, with an ending that elaborates ever so slightly on what we saw at the end of that series, raising the stakes and the mystery, pulling us forward, leaving us wanting and guessing at more. Scourge of the Serpent is also very much a continuation, or given the temporal shifting, perhaps a prequel to what we saw in issues 21 through 24 of the monthly Conan series. And given the hints in that arc, I wasn't surprised at the inclusion of the Eldritch entity, named at the end of the Black Stone series, as the centerpiece of Set's motivations. So, what are the surprises here? I remain surprised that the first three issues played as pretty darn straight adaptations of the Shadow Kingdom, the God in the Bull, and the Haunter of the Ring. It makes sense given the need to ground things for the miniseries, and I can't really imagine what the alternative would be, so perhaps I'm just shocked at how effortlessly, in appearance anyway, Jim Zub and Yvonne Gill made it all look. And I'd suggest that it is this seemingly conservative approach that helped to make this issue number 4 the banger that it is. The biggest surprise? Well, there's going to be a spoiler here. I'm giving you the chance to turn away. With the closing panels, we finally get a little more clarity on the Brissa story from the Savage Sword of Conan Battle of the Blackstone tie-in. If you are looking at the fetus in Brissa's womb on the final page of issue number 4 and are wondering just what exactly Set is talking about, well, the Savage Sword story clearly lets us know that sinister serpentry was afoot with the serpentine eyes of Brissa's mother, betraying a unique lineage. Mirrored too is the reference to cycles. Set speaks of them in this issue number 4, as does the emanation of Brissa's mother in the Savage Sword story. And of course, much of what we've seen, especially in the first year of the ongoing series, is storytelling of a cyclical nature, evidenced especially in the time and dimension bending. There is certainly more to be revealed and understood with all of this, but you've got to admire the depth of planning that Zub's engaged in here. There are bound to be other Easter eggs that I've missed, or at least further mystery to be addressed. It's this panel here of the skeletal King Kull that was so familiar to me when reading the advanced copy, I just couldn't place it, and then Jim Zub posted about it the other night, reminding us that Kull appears in the same manner in issue number 10 of the ongoing series. What it means, well, we just don't know yet. Does this page in issue number 4 suggest that the final battle against Shumagorath will occur when Conan is king? Will Kull be resurrected in some manner to battle the Elder God? And is the image of Kirowan from his previous battle with the Blackstone baddie? I guess we'll see come the next event series. Some final thoughts. Yvonne Gill's art is tremendous throughout. The layouts are striking, from the multiple 2-page spreads to the repeated presentation of our heroes in triptych. And those wicked final 3 pages, they're just spectacular. Jao Canola's colors deserve equal praise, bringing remarkable depth and variety to every scene. His work here feels the most vivid and energized of the entire series. Together, Gill and Canola form a wonderful art team, one I sincerely hope we see again. Jim Zub's Scourge of the Serpent miniseries stands as a magnificent marker in his multi-year mission to deliver pulp adventure and mystery drawn from the wider cast of Robert E. Howard's formidable stable of characters. This is competent and confident storytelling. The planning is evident throughout. Thoughtful throwbacks to earlier storylines, plot threads woven in tandem with the ongoing Conan the Barbarian series, and a clear extension of the temporal shifting groundwork laid in Battle of the Black Stone and the first year of the ongoing series. The result is a story that raises the stakes and inexorably pulls readers along, thrusting us deeper into an encroaching mystery that leaves us eager and guessing for more. Thanks for watching, liking, consider subscribing, and until next time, take it easy, you Stygian Dogs.